Hi, my name is Dr. Kathleen King, and in this video we are going to talk about trauma, dealing with the dark night of the soul, and how that relates to brain retraining. If you have trauma patterning, then you're going to need to learn how to train the brain to create a supportive brain pattern that can hold the container necessary to remodel the trauma-based neural pathways. If the brain doesn't have a strong enough neural network that's in place, that's focused on living, on joy, on happiness, on being in what I call an adult main personality, then opening up that trauma patterning can be disastrous. So there's an important sequence in approaching your shadow or your trauma parts. In my Primal Trust mentorship, I carefully guide you through the ability to hold what I call a primal trust frequency in your nervous system so that you can finally integrate the trauma and the limitations in your psyche that have been affecting your life. So with brain retraining and trauma, we must retrain the brain first. And if you do not have a brain retraining practice already in place, I highly recommend you get one. I have a brain retraining method called the ABC Dimensional Shift Technique. It's in my Creating Calm course and as well in my mentorship. But there are many great brain retraining programs out there, such as the Dynamic Neural Retraining System, Gupta, Vital Side, Lightning Process, ANS Rewire. Those are a few of them. You really want to get that in place because you need to teach the brain to develop strong, positive feeling neural networks. So step one with dealing with trauma is brain retraining and positive neural networks of joy, happiness. You need to teach your brain how to go there. The second thing you need to teach your brain is how to hold what I call an adult main personality, which is an adult supportive brain state that can be a space holder for the trauma parts. Okay, so second is an adult main personality brain pattern. Okay, third, you must reduce the stress networks in the brain. What are stress networks? Well, one is obsessive focus on the self. So self-focus, you want to decrease that. You also want to decrease any type of past problem rumination habit. So decreasing the past rumination, negative rumination, and also reduce future fear-based fantasies and thought OCD habits. So future fear, you want to address that. All of that is addressed in brain retraining techniques. From there, once you get that in place, you get those neural pathways exercised, you can move on to somatic embodiment practices a little more easily. So second focus is somatics, which means body, and being able to be in the body, being able to hold your breath steady, being able to be in discomfort. And so number one for somatics is, I say, breath practices to create heart-brain coherence. Okay, so focusing on the breath. I love the heart math technique. I teach a lot of this in my programs as well. Secondly, being able to be in the body with small stressors and come back into a normal brain function after that stressor has passed. So this ability to feel okay even if you're uncomfortable. So feeling okay in discomfort. And third, somatics is about developing a deep sense of innate okayness, even in discomfort. I often call this primal trust frequency, or this capacity in your nervous system to handle anything. And so when you've got these three things in place with somatics, and you have your brain retraining program in place, that's going to help you be self-resourced, be able to self-elevate your own mood, be able to feel this sovereign sense of this adult main personality and hold somatic presence even in difficult situations. From there, once these things are in place, then is a better time to take that journey into the underworld, into the shadow parts, into the patterning that needs to be healed and integrated. So step C, or step 3, whoops, marker isn't working, we'll do this one. 3 is the underworld, which, what is that? Well, it's a journey. It's a journey on meeting your shadow, the hidden parts of the psyche, of the trauma patterning, and resolving that stuck emotional energy pattern. It's sucking your life force if you have this going on in your nervous system. And these are just parts of you that don't have updated perspectives of your current reality. So merging of your past with your present, the child with the adult, merging your feelings of anger with compassion, and merging your fear with love. This is how you transform your limitations into wisdom. And that's really the goal of doing any type of internal work, shadow work, is not to get stuck in processing all of the things that's happened that are bad, but turning that learning into wisdom. Now, you must have the capacity to be in a primal trust state in your nervous system to be able to link the past trauma patterns with the present and be able to stay in an adult main personality after being triggered. That's really the key. And where I see a lot of people go wrong in trauma work is they go into that trauma and then they get so disrupted they cannot come back to normal after meeting those parts of themselves that have a lot of pain. So you have to learn how to work with your inner psyche of identities, which I call part-time personalities, and the superego and the inner child ID. So integration happens when in the present moment the adult main personality has a healthy neurological access to all of the inner parts, to the shadow, to just those lost aspects of self, and is able to feel them and see them and not be hijacked by them, but rather learns to hear, see, understand these internal needs, and able to meet those needs in a higher way that's aligned with your true self, that's supportive and loving, rather than those dysfunctional patterns of meeting these unconscious needs that are coming from a fragmented part of you. And then when you've gotten these things dialed in, you're able to, meet this inner psyche, you've got your somatics in place, you're doing your brain retraining. That's where I really see that you're able to bring yourself into the world. That's when integration has happened, your resistance to life and finding your purpose improve. You aren't limited by your shadow anymore. And you can bring your whole self into all you do and handle whatever comes your way. If this resonates with you, I'd love to guide you through my 3-month mentorship where we learn how to create primal trust in the nervous system and integrate these fragmented aspects of ourself into one beautiful human full of love and light. Thank you for listening.